But as far as the NBA All-Star games, it is kind of funny how this is going, right? So for the second straight year, LeBron and Giannis Antetokounmpo are the captains. So LeBron was asked a very, very interesting question, I thought. So, like, you're the captain. You get your first choice. Kind of have to take Anthony Davis first, don't you? Here was his response.
I've really never had a mentality when approaching a milestone. I've just kind of just played my.
Sorry, that's the wrong one. Let's try this one.
No, I have not. Rob Pelinka, told us all right before we ran out that myself and AD was named starters in the All-Star Game. So it's an honor, and thank you so much to my fans, AD's fans, and Laker faithful all across the world that put us in the All-Star Game here in Chicago. I know it's going to be a big night for AD, being from Chicago, local kid, and for me, it's always a blessing just to be a part of All-Star Weekend.
So eventually he was asked about if he had to pick Anthony Davis.
I mean, you kind of have to pick him first, right? You don't have to tell me now. It's fine.
Who, I got to pick AD first? Didn't I pick him first? Didn't I pick him first last year?
Well, you definitely have to now.
I don't know if I like him like that.
Thanks, LeBron.
All right, thanks, Chris.
You should.
Didn't I pick him first last year when I was recruiting him with the All-Star Game?
Exactly right.
I can't even remember that one. Kawhi Leonard's coming this year.
So long ago. His 16th All-Star Game. Nobody else is in double digits. Closest after that, at least from the starters out here, is James Harden with his 8th, Anthony Davis with his 7th. First-timers from the starter side, Pascal Siakam, Trey Young over in the East, and Luka Doncic in the West. It was really cool. These are the cool things of social media is when you get reactions. And you had Siakam, and they weren't in the same place, and Trey Young, separate places, watching where the starters were being named. And they had their reactions live when they were named starters. So it was their first All-Star games, and they were named starters as well. It's very cool. We sit there and watch these guys and are in awe of the stars that they're becoming. And you love when they still understand where they are in this game of great players. And when they hit a milestone like they did, and they're then you see they're human beings, man. They get emotional about it. It's like all your work, hard work paying off.
It's amazing the newness of it then, because obviously we look at pretty much every All-Star game that gets played in pro sports right now, and we're like, all right, these games don't really mean much. They don't really get played all that hard. We always look at the problems of them. And you see, after a while, the Pro Bowl guys will not go when they've been to a few of them. Guys will take that time off for certain ones of them.
I think Tom Brady hasn't been to a Pro Bowl since the Cretaceous period.
But, then you see these kids make it coming out. Imagine in the NBA, getting to go into the All-Star game if you're Luka Doncic, who has talked openly about what seeing a guy like LeBron James and his style of play has meant to him. And now you're next to him in the All-Star game. That stuff has to be so surreal, especially when you're a 19, 20, 21-year-old kid.
Or even a little older in the case of Pascal Siakam, who, of course, by the way, Nick Nurse is doing an amazing job with the Raptors this year. He's our guy. He's been our guy forever. But, Kawhi left. That was supposed to be the end of the Raptors, and they said, hold my beer, as you say in Canada.
They're third in the conference right now, yeah.
And one of the big reasons why is Pascal Siakam. And Siakam was on SportsCenter with Scott Van Pelt last night, and trying to encapsulate, Junior, what you were talking about, what this meant to him to make it to an All-Star game for some very personal reasons.
I think the only thing I can really think about is just my dad, kind of every time there's something this big happens to me, I can only think about him and just wishing that he was here, all the work that he's put in, having this dream and sending his sons to the U.S. and hoping that, someone will make it to the NBA and for me to be here realizing his dream and my family's dream and be able to do this at this level, being an all-star is everything that I could wish for and I just wish that he was here to witness all this.
I love that.
That's great.
It is
stuff.
Really, really cool. Yeah. And then to Old Man River. Yeah. And then to LeBron James, who just keeps going, is having a great year this year. Gets in a win last night as a triple-double, 27 points. He's now 18 points away from Kobe Bryant for third place on the all-time scoring list. So he'll obviously going to pass Kobe. Right now, he's 3,302 points behind Karl Malone for number 2. 4,761 points behind Kareem for number 1. Now, the way he's been averaging per year, he's probably in the area of about another 1,000 this year to finish up the year. In that area, give or take. So knock off another 1,000 of what he needs to get to these guys. So now that'd be about 2,300 away from Malone. And he's been averaging just under 2,000 points a year for his career. So we have to see how much longer he's going to play, but I would say Malone is easily going to be reachable there. And then, it'd be another year or two before he could probably get a hold of Kareem if he's around that long to do it.
I guess that's the thing is you look at these numbers at face value and like, oh man, that seems sort of insane. And then you remember that this guy was the leading vote getter in the Western Conference, and this guy is still playing at an incredibly high level, coming off missing a postseason for the first time since, as Trey would point out, the Cretaceous period. So it is not even remotely unrealistic that LeBron is probably going to leave the NBA as the all-time leading scorer.
Probably after this year, 2 more years, and he could have them both.
And again, the one thing that defines LeBron better than anything else, he's going to be at worst 3rd on the all-time scoring list.
Right.
He's also in the top 10 in assists.
I mean, yeah.
He's ahead of Isaiah Thomas and Gary Payton. There's not another player on the top scoring list that sniffs the top 25 of assists. That's how unique LeBron James
and
game
he's
is.
top 50 in rebounds, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
This just in, he's very good.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content plus live streaming, make sure to subscribe to ESPN Player.